What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. So I'm starting us off on the ribbon, and I want to make a couple things clear before we get into this analysis. I've said this before, but I want to make it clear, okay? Oftentimes with the ribbon, in fact, it's incredibly rare that you'll ever see me or probably anybody that knows what they're doing use the ribbon below a daily time frame. Okay, below the daily, it's too wonky. Oftentimes it's not accurate. It gets disrespected all the time. It's not something to consider. But whenever you are in the midst of a very powerful move like this, short term, you're moving up a lot, you're seeing a lot of dynamics and a lot of volatility, I think it can be more applied, and it seems to be more respected. You can see it, right? Versus here, when you weren't really doing anything, you know, disrespected. Here, kind of trudging up, sure, but even then, you still disrespected it at times, right? I'm just saying, here, while yes, you have gone below that, that's actually very normal. Whenever you move up like this, you have a dramatic move up, it's expanding, the ribbon's expanding, and you pull back into the ribbon like this, oftentimes you don't find a low until you are below the ribbon, okay? And what we had was a very bullish setup, I think, because the ribbon expanding is a sign that you are growing at a fast pace, right? You're growing at a healthy pace whenever the ribbon is expanding. When the ribbon's contracting, hopefully, generally, that means in an uptrend that you're consolidating. So the tighter that ribbon gets, the tighter you're consolidating, essentially, right? The more you're bringing these moving averages together. If you can prevent it from crossing to the downside, whenever it expands again, think of it like a spring, right? It's getting compressed, and then it releases you to higher prices, right? I wonder if we can actually see that happening at any places here. Let's just see real quick. I mean, kind of, but again, it's disrespected. The 4 hour might not be the best. This is kind of a good example, I suppose, right? Contracted, you were below it, and then you went above it. Look at how much you were above it. You found your low just below it once more, and then boom, off to the races. You expanded, and like a spring, man, you sprung all the way up, right? This here, you did cross to the downside, but this is what you call a false cross. And you can tell it's a false cross not because you pulled up into it while it was crossing, but because you pulled through it. If you pulled up into it and then reject it as it's crossing, that's a true cross. If during the cross you pull through it, obviously it's a false cross, or at least it should be obvious. And you want to get daily or monthly, 4 hour candles to close through this. We're on the 4 hour time frame, okay? So what you're doing now is vaguely similar, actually, to that. Man, you went way up here. Had to do a lot of pulling there. You are consolidating with the ribbon. You're consolidating with the price right here. The ribbon has contracted. I was expecting that you would go a little bit lower, perhaps down to 2.7 cents, 2.6 cents, 2.5 cents again. But I don't know if I'm expecting that anymore, you guys. That was an immaculate bounce. There's plenty of cryptos that are in the red today that are seeing the volatility from yesterday, and they're retracing a little bit. This is not one of them. And it's one of them that has more reason than most cryptos to retrace because it's pumped up so much. And I think the very fact that it's not is a signal that it's about to explode any day now. Whether it's, and likely I think it's today. Today being Tuesday. I suppose because the day, we have only 8 hours left. It could be, let's not say the day. Let's say within the next 24 hours. Within the next 24 hours, and probably even less than that, I would suspect that we are moving back up toward prices that are above 4 cents, right? Perhaps we stop, we have turbulence here just below 4 cents, maybe. Consolidate on our way going up, you know, stuff like that. That can happen. But all this to say, I think this is and you wouldn't normally see me do this on a 4 hour time frame. That's why I started it off with that, right? Because it's not something that if you're using the ribbon that I think you should put in practice is the 4 hour. But there are times whenever you notice respect on the ribbon, which I definitely feel like we're respecting it now. It's something to take into consideration. What this is telling me is we likely are gearing up for our next move up. So not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, but if you're looking to buy XCN, now is probably your last window to do so, okay? And don't hate me if it goes lower. It really could. It could go back down to 2.7 cents, 2.8 cents, maybe all the way down to 2.5 cents. If I was buying here, I would be buying simply because I feel the pressure of what's about to come, and I wouldn't care about the drop. In fact, if it dropped, I would just buy more, or at the very least, I would not sell. It's not a good time to sell here. It's certainly not a good time to sell here. So if you buy at this area, be prepared for any potential volatility that could come. And with XCN, whenever it moves down like that, it tends to be over before you even know it. So don't worry about that, right? I certainly do believe that was our low, and you can see it in the price. Let's actually look at XCN here without the ribbons, okay? You can see it in the price. It's telling you very clearly which direction it wants to go, okay? Let me just ask a very simple question here. We'll do a channel real quick. Something like this, yes. Okay, top of the channel is the red line, bottom of the channel is the red line here. Whenever you have this reaction off the lows like that, and you're grinding the top like this, you're just grinding it, which direction do you think you're going to break out from? Is it the side that you're repulsed by, or is it the side that you're friendly with? Which side are you going to break through? I think it's very obvious, and that's not always the case. Don't think it's that simple, but sometimes and oftentimes enough, this is the case, and we're using this in congruence with a bunch of other things, right? So looking at the 4-hour time frame here, bullish as hell, you guys. We really are. This confirms everything that I've been saying. This looks like you're about to rip. It really does. You are in a downtrend in your 4-hour RSI right now. You might have even broken out of it, right? And you're back testing this line, right? It seems as though you actually have broken out of it. And what you're doing right now is finding support on the 50. If you get going from here, man, you're essentially effectively breaking out of this downtrend that you've been in for a long time, potentially starting a new uptrend. The last time that you made a move like this, what did the price do? Right, because you're essentially coming from the same areas. I mean, the rest is history. From a low to a high, you moved up 576%. I'm not saying you're going to move up that much. I'm not saying you're going to move up that little. Who knows how much you're going to move up? But 576%, just for references, would put you at about 12 cents. Which, to be completely honest, that's about the limits of my range that I'm expecting, 12 to 13 cents. Maybe we go higher. It's completely possible we could go higher. I shouldn't say it's the limits. That's more of like the limits within reason, I think. But it's completely possible that we could go all the way up to 20 cents, you guys. Like, genuinely, this thing could rip to 25 cents by the end of this move. And the only reason that I accept that is because, or am I thinking of a different, maybe I'm thinking of a different coin. Maybe, let me see. Or is it this one? Let's see. From a high to a low. No. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. That's what it was. So if you get to 12 cents, you're above the 3113 and the 2886. The next stopping point would be 20 to 26 cents. That's where I was getting that from. 18 cents at the all-time high, 17 cents at the close, right? And you're at 3 cents now. I know I'm saying all of these numbers. That doesn't mean they're going to happen, okay? But that would be, I mean, from the current price, that'd be about the same growth that you saw in the initial part, but from the low, it's almost double. So to me, that seems a bit less likely. It depends. You know, if this move wants to end on a finale, it wants to end with a bang, well then cool, we'll take it, you know? I definitely wouldn't throw this out of the book, but I will probably be selling 50% lower than 20 cents, right? I'll probably sell between 9 to 13 cents. If it gets above 10 cents, I'll sell more. If it doesn't, whatever I sold between 9 and 10 cents, I'll take it and I'll be happy with that and allocate, right? I've got sell orders layered personally between 9 cents and 13 cents at the moment. Nothing is above 13 cents, okay? Nothing's, I guess, the closest one is closer to about 12.888 cents. That might be my highest. That is my highest sell order. I don't know if I said buy order. That's my highest sell order. I've got sell orders layered throughout here, not buy orders. I hope that was obvious if I confused my words. And the reason why I'm okay with selling in the range of despair, which doesn't make any sense, right? Because there's no fibs here. The reason why I'm okay with that is because I could take my profits from XCN, roll them into something that's not as exciting, that has more room to grow up, to pump, because it hasn't blown up already, right? XCN might have another 100% move in it, but I could put this into something that has a 200% move left in it, or a 500% move, something that hasn't moved up yet that could explode, right? And it all depends. If by the time XCN gets up here, the rest of the markets are pumping, then maybe I'll just sit on cash, right? Don't listen to everything I'm saying and take it as if it's law. There's a lot of implications that need to occur for this to happen specifically the way I'm talking about it happening. I have an ideal image in my head. Rarely does life care about what ideal image I have or what ideal image you have, right? We're just looking at the charts and trying to paint a picture from it. All I'm trying to say really at the end of the day is we're at 3 cents now. I don't know if it's appropriate still to consider targets. I think it's appropriate. I shouldn't say that. I think it is appropriate to consider targets between 2.7 to 2.5 cents. It is appropriate, but I don't know if you should count on it, because we really could at any moment. I think from the 4-hour perspective, it looks like we are about to break out. That's my assumption. We look at the 1-hour time frame, if it'll load. There we go. We got the RSI. This also looks bullish as hell. I will say, rejecting off of the 60 does give a little bit of leeway to the downside. If we reject off the 60 here and move down, let's see, what does this look like with volume in it? Something with some volume. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to stick with it. I don't know if you go below 2.9 cents. If you do, 2.7 to 2.5 cents is where you're going to go. I would lean more toward that 2.6 to 2.5 cent area personally, if you were to break below 2.9 cents, and in which case that might present a good buying opportunity. But me and just my style, I don't care to catch the absolute low. I just want to get in before the pump, man. 15-minute time frame looks bullish as hell. The 1 hour is the only one giving me some hesitation to just say it's full-on bullish, but everything else looks really good to go. So I got nothing else to say. I hope you guys understand everything that I'm trying to say. I hope it's a very clear message. None of this is financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I hope you all make a lot of money. Let's all get rich together. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.